Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. In this video, I am going to tell you guys how I debug my code while doing competitive programming. Now the main reason why I am making this video is that there were a lot of comments on my contest screencasts asking me to explain how I am able to debug my code so fast in a contest. And also there were a lot of comments where all of you had asked me to explain that debug function that is present in almost all of my competitive programming submissions. Right. So there are basically these two common ways of debugging your code in competitive programming. You can either use print statements or you can use a debugger. But here is the thing, both of these methods have their own disadvantages. If you use print statements, then you will have to comment out or remove all those statements before you actually submit your code online, right? And in case you use a debugger, like I'm talking about the debugger that comes inbuilt with most of the IDEs, then it is very difficult to set up and obviously it is not at all beginner friendly. But in this video, I will definitely be not covering any of these two techniques. I will rather be covering a somewhat unique technique that obviously is a combination of both of them, but it sort of just diminishes the disadvantages of both of these techniques. Okay, so yeah, let's get into it. Now, this was the question that was asked by a lot of you in my contest screencasts. What is this debug X statement in my competitive programming submissions? So as the name suggests, this is just a debugging statement that helps me to debug my code. Now, I'm not sure if you've noticed this already or not, but I don't even remove these lines of code while submitting my code online. Like as you can see in this segment of code, this is like a segment that I've picked from my accepted solution on Codeforces. And you can see that there are such a lot of debug statements in this small segment itself, and I haven't removed them. In fact, I haven't even commented them out. Okay, so in this video, I'm going to help you set up a similar debugging environment for yourself. I would highly recommend you to watch this video from this point till the very end because I'm going to explain the reason for each and every line of code that I'm going to write here. Okay, so let's begin with this very simple task. Let's say I give you two variables a and b. Int a equals to 10 and b equals to 20. And after this, you have a lot of code, let's say here. And somewhere in the middle of this code, you do a++. And then again, you have a lot of code. Now, after all of this code, you want to see what is the value that is present inside A and what is the value that is present inside B. So how can you print it? You can simply do cout A and L and cout B and L, right? So here you have 11 and 20, right? But you only have this 11 and 20 here. You don't know which one is A and which one is B. You know right now because there are only two variables, A and B. So it is easy to understand which one is A and which one is B. But let's say you have 10 such variables to be printed. How will you know which value corresponds to which variable? So instead of just printing out these variables normally, you can print out the names as well, right? This way what happens is that whenever you are printing out a value, you also know the variable that the particular value corresponds to, right? But this is obviously only for two variables here. What if you had 10 variables? You can't be writing this silly line of code again and again, right? So in order to prevent yourself from doing this repetitive task, you can create a function. And instead of a function, we can create a hash define here. And let's say we name it debug. So this is basically like a function here. And what will happen is that whenever you call this function debug x, it will do the same task. Instead, it will print out that variable x. I mean, it will print out the name of the variable and it will also print out the variable's value here, right? Now let's say instead of doing this, now you do debug A and you do debug B. Now see, the exact same thing happened, but you didn't have to write that same line of code again and again. Why? Because you have a function here now. So now you have this debug function for yourself, which you can use to print out any simple variable. By simple variable, I only mean like an integer, a long, or let's say a string or a character. You cannot go and send out a vector or an array to this function and expect to get the same result. So we'll be coming to that part where we will be debugging that vectors, arrays, map sets. But for now, like you already have your own debugger. You can send out any variable to it and it will print out the name of the variable along with its value, right? So let's test it out with a string a1 equals to asdf, and let's do debug a1. So let's remove this. And here you have this variable a1, and the value stored inside is asdf, right? But what you will observe here is that all of these outputs that are coming, they are going inside your output.txt file here, right? And whenever we are doing competitive programming, we want this output.txt file to store only important data. You don't want to dump out everything that you're using to debug your code inside this output.txt file, right? So in order to prevent your code from doing this, what you can do is, here instead of writing cout, you can write cr. And inside your int main function, you can just write this line of code, hash if and def. Okay, and before this function, write the same exact line of code. Okay, now let's try to do the same thing. So now what you'll observe here is that the debugging statements are not coming inside my output.txt file. Rather, they are coming inside my error.txt file. And the great thing here is that since we've written this line of all these lines of code here, what happens is that whenever you submit your code online, you don't have to remove these debug statements. These debug statements will only print out these values whenever you are testing your code locally. That is, whenever you're not submitting your code on an environment that has an online judge defined. Okay, so here this line, this segment of code does what it does is that it first of all checks if an online judge is defined. If it is defined, then it won't execute this line of code. It will execute this line of code rather. Okay. Similarly here, whenever your online judge is defined, it won't execute this line of code. Okay. So yeah, that is how you can print out very simple variables, and you can use this anywhere inside your code. You will never have to comment out these debug statements. You will never have to remove them before submitting your code online. Okay. So yeah, that is it for printing out very simple variables. We'll now be going into more complex stuff. Okay, so let's try to do something that is a little more complex now. Let's try to debug a vector. Let's say this is the vector, and again you have a lot of code here, and somewhere you did v1 at v1 equals to 5, and then again you have a lot of code, and now you want to see what is the what are the contents that are present inside this v1 vector. So how will you do that? One way to do this is by something like this, or you can do it like this. Right. So again, you have your output inside your output.txt file. You would want your output to go inside your error.txt file here. And again, if you have, let's say 5 vectors, you cannot be writing this for loop 5 times, right? This would be just really very repetitive. So again, if something is repetitive, what do? We create a function for that. So we can create, let's say, a void print function, and we can pass in a vector of type int to it. And here we can do that same thing. Right. And now what do I do here is I do not write this whole for loop again and again. I simply call my print function and I pass in my vector here. So now you will see that the output comes in my array.txt file, and it also has these brackets around it to tell me that these are the actual contents inside my vector. But here you will observe, one thing that you will observe here is that I'm not getting the name of the variable again. So can I modify my debug statement in such a way that I also get my name as well? And the answer is yes. So here, instead of printing out this whole thing, what I can do is I can let this remain as it is, and here I can call my print function. And I can do cr indel. Okay. So now instead of calling my print statement print function directly from here, I can call my debug function. So now you will also have the name of the variable and you will have the contents inside that variable. But there is one problem that we've created for ourselves here. What you will observe here is that you are calling this print function here inside your debug function, but this print function only accepts a vector of type int. Now, what about the case that we wanted to debug an integer, a long, or let's say a character? So for that, what I can do is I can create the function with the same name, but I can pass in different parameters to it. Like I can copy this whole thing. And here inside, I can change the type. This way I can call my debug function with any type. And from any type here, I only mean right now an integer, a long, a character, a string, a boolean as well, and also a vector. Okay. So let's try to debug an integer as well. Int a equals to 10 and debug. So you will see here is that we are also getting our a variable printed. We are also getting our v1 variable printed. And at this point, we are able to debug a vector and we are also able to debug any primitive data type as well. So one thing I'll do here is that I will remove these lines of code and I'll put them above this print function. And why am I doing that? This is because one thing that you will observe here is that we are only passing in a vector of type int here. What if I wanted to debug a vector of type string? What if I wanted to debug a vector of type character? What if I wanted to debug a vector of type long? In that case, I cannot call this same function, right? But here is the catch. I can, provided I create my own template here. So I'll create a template here. And here I'll put t again. And here also I'll put t. And inside here, I will not print the value directly. Rather, I will call the print statement again. So this way you can debug a vector of any type now. Like this has to work, I guess. Yeah, this is working fine. Let's say we create a vector of type string now. Okay, v2 equals to. Let's say this is a vector of type string and let me do debug v2 now. So now you also have your vector of type string getting printed. I mean getting debugged. So the great thing here is that now you can pass in a vector of any type. Like any type, from any type I mean long, boolean, character, or string, or a simple integer as well. And it will debug your vector in a very nice fashion here. Right? And you're getting these outputs. Remember, you're getting these outputs inside your array.txt file. You won't be getting these outputs whenever you submit your code online. Right? So this way you can debug your vector. And similarly, you can create a template function here again for a set. Like we did this for a vector, we can do the same thing for a set. And I'll copy this part here. And let me create a set now here. Let's keep this number small. And let me do debug s1 now. Okay. Okay, so there seems to be some issue here. Yeah, this has to be named as S1. So now you are also able to debug a set. So this is like very standard now. You can, if you understood the video till this point, you can create your print functions for anything you like. You can create it for an array, you can create it for a map, a set, a multi-set, anything you want, right? So yeah, like that is how the debugging part works for me. And this is how I debug my code in competitive programming. I'll show you the exact template that I use here. So this is something that I showed you right now. This is the same. And here is what I use. Okay. So I'll copy it and paste it here. And I think most of it is using some sort of type defs. So I'll have to copy my type defs as well. And I'll also copy some of my hash defines because there are some things like PB, SS, FF that are being used inside that same template. So let me just copy it only. It does not matter. So yeah, now let's try to run this code again. Okay. And yeah, here is the exact template that I use for debugging. These are certain lines of code that you can write on the top of your own template and you will be good to go. You don't have to do anything. I have explained to you each and every line of code here. Like this is very standard. Whatever I wrote, I have just copied it again here. So yeah, I will also leave the link to all of this code inside in the description of this video and you can check it out. But yeah, that is it for this video. I hope you guys found it really insightful and you will be able to debug your code much faster from now on while doing competitive programming. So yeah, in case you like the video, don't forget to like the video and yeah, share it with your friends, whoever need this video right now, because this is something that can help you save a lot of time while doing competitive programming. Okay. And yeah, bye bye for now. And please subscribe to the channel in case you like the work that I do. So yeah, bye bye.